The Battle of Badr was a significant event in the early history of Islam. It occurred on the 17th day of Ramadan, in the Islamic calendar, corresponding to March the 17th, 624 CE, in the Western Arabian Peninsula. It was a pivotal moment in the early development of Islam and played a crucial role in the rise of the Muslim community. The Battle of Badr was a victory for the Muslim forces under the leadership of Prophet Muhammad. It established the Muslim community as a powerful military force in the region, and marked the beginning of the Muslim expansion. Background: the battle occurred during intense conflict between the early Muslim community, led by the Prophet Muhammad, and the Quraysh tribe of Mecca. The Muslims had faced persecution and hostility from the Quraysh for years since the inception of Islam. In the city of Mecca, the Prophet Muhammad and his followers had migrated to Medina to escape this persecution. In Medina, the Muslims established a new society based on justice and equality. They faced many battles with the Quraysh but eventually found peace and justice in the region. The Quraysh, fearing the growing strength of the Muslim community, decided to confront the Muslims and halt their expansion. They assembled a well-equipped army of around 1,000 infantry and cavalry soldiers and marched toward Badr, a well-known water source. The Muslims, led by Prophet Muhammad, were outnumbered 3-1. However, they still managed to prevail and emerged victorious. This battle was a great example of courage, faith, and unity for the Muslims. The Muslim force was significantly smaller, numbering approximately 313 men. They were poorly equipped with limited armor and weaponry. The Prophet Muhammad had initially intended to intercept a Qurayshi trade caravan, but upon learning of the approaching Qurayshi army, he and his companions decided to confront them at Badr. The Muslims were victorious, and the Qurayshi army was defeated. This victory profoundly affected the Muslim community, and was a turning point in Islamic history. The battle. The Muslims reached Badr before the Qurayshi army, occupying a strategic position near the wells. They dug a trench to protect their rear, and the Prophet Muhammad sought divine guidance and support through prayers. The Qurayshi army arrived in the afternoon, and the Muslims engaged them in a fierce battle. The Muslims were victorious, and the Qurayshi army was defeated. This victory was a landmark moment in the history of Islam. The battle began with individual combat, with 3 champions from each side engaging in duels. In these duels, the Muslims managed to defeat the Qurayshi champions, which boosted their morale. Then, the full-scale battle ensued. Despite being outnumbered and less well-equipped, the Muslims fought with great determination and belief in divine assistance. In the end, the Muslims emerged victorious and could reclaim the city of Makkah. This victory is considered a symbol of the power of faith and trust in Allah. A sudden sandstorm struck during the battle, which aided the Muslims by hindering the Qurayshi cavalry and archers. The Muslims interpreted this as a sign of divine intervention, further boosting their spirits. The Battle of Makkah is seen as a symbol of the power of faith, trust in Allah, and the power of divine intervention. It is a reminder of the power of faith and trust in Allah, even in the face of adversity. Outcome: despite their numerical disadvantage, the Muslims achieved a remarkable victory at the Battle of Badr. They managed to defeat a significant portion of the Qurayshi army and capture many prisoners, including some of the Quraysh's most prominent leaders. This victory was a sign of Allah's divine intervention and his support for the Muslims. It further strengthened the Muslim faith and reinforced the importance of trusting Allah. This victory had profound implications for the early Muslim community. It not only boosted their morale and confidence but also established the credibility of the Prophet Muhammad as a leader and a prophet. Additionally, it prompted further conversions to Islam in the Arabian Peninsula. It marked the beginning of a series of conflicts between the Muslims and the Quraysh that would ultimately lead to the conquest of Mecca by the Muslims in 630 CE. This victory was a landmark moment in the history of the Islamic faith and marked the beginning of the Islamic Golden Age. It showed that the Muslims were a force to be reckoned with and that their faith and beliefs were strong and resilient. The Battle of Badr is considered a pivotal moment in Islamic history, illustrating the importance of faith, strategy, and divine assistance in overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. It is commemorated annually by Muslims during Ramadan as a reminder of the significance of dedication and perseverance. It is also seen as a symbol of the unity and solidarity of the Muslim community. It is seen as an inspiration to strive and overcome any obstacles in life.